But most important, in my opinion, is also to learn in Italian how to tell the time. That's another thing that we are going to learn at the beginning of these of this chapter. Um, how to tell the time in Italian? Well, first of all, and you can study this by yourself. As you can see, I'm exactly on the page where you can learn these things. So first of all, you can see that so you can basically follow what I'm saying by looking at this section here. But in order to be more specific, I'm going to actually write things down for you on a Word document. But you can, at the same time, you can look at that page on our textbook while I explain these things. So, first of all, let's say, how do you ask for the time in Italian? Well, you have two ways of saying in Italian what time is it. These two ways are che ora è, and I recommend you repeat after me as I say these things. Even though I'm not in class with you, it will be always best for you to repeat the things that I say. Che ora è or che ore sono. These are two ways of asking, of saying the same thing. What time is it? And they're both valid. They're basically interchangeable. Literally, it is as if you're saying che ora è means what hour is it, what hour it is, and che ore sono means what hours they are. That's literally what this question means, but of course in English we translate it with what time is it. Now, in this, so as you can see, we can mostly ask it like both in a singular way and in a plural way. What time is it? What time is it? Right? What hour is it? What hours they are? But again, what time is it? Is the meaning of this. So this is how you ask. The answer is only one. The answer is only one. When you want to say what time is it, which in English I say it's, right? It's 3 o'clock, it's 3:30 or whatever. In Italian you say sono le. Sono le. That's what means it's when you want to say the time. So for example, if I want to say it's 5:30 in Italian, I am going to say sono le 5:30. Very similar to the English, right? Not that different, right? If I want to say that it's 6:10, I am going to say sono le 6:10, okay? And so on and so forth. The important thing is that you know the numbers, of course. So for example, 2:15, sono le 2:15. So this is how you tell the time in Italian. The only exception to this rule is when you are saying noon, midnight, okay? When you're saying noon, midnight, and when you're saying 1. Doesn't matter if in the morning or in the afternoon. Okay? So for noon, you're saying è mezzogiorno. For midnight, you're saying è mezzanotte. And for 1 o'clock, you're saying, interestingly enough, è luna. Okay, so this is the most important thing that you need to know about telling the time in Italian. Of course, we have quarters. A quarter is un quarto. Un quarto. So, for example, you can say 2:15, right? 2:15. You can say sono le 2:15. Sono le 2:15. You have a half, right? So for example, mezzo. So for example, 2:30, I can say sono le 2:30. And 3/4, right? 3/4. quarters, less common, but we would say that, right? 3/4. So for example, I can say 2:45, I can say sono le 2:03, sono le 2:03. Another thing, typical characteristic of telling the time in Italian is when you want to say something on the lines of it's 10 to 3, for example, right? When we are talking about those minutes before the next hour. In Italian, we say this by saying something of this kind. So we subtract the minutes lacking to the next hour. So instead of saying it's 10 to 3 in Italian, we say it's 3 minus 10. That's how we say it. And of course, minus we say meno. So for example, let me give you an example. If I want to say 2:50, right? It's 2:50, right? I can say sono le 2:50, right? It's 2:50. That's the same way that I would say it in English. Or I can also say sono le 3 meno 10. And I can do this also for, like, I don't know, just making things up here. Sono le 6 meno 20. So that's how we say this is the time to, right? A certain time. We use meno. Okay, so this is an important also thing. Again, all of these that I'm saying, you can follow the book on this page, right? Page 109, a pagina 109, you can find this explanation for the thing. Now, the last thing that I'm going to tell you in this video, which is basically about the time, is basically that how do you say at what time something happens. This is not only something that's important to know, it's also something that you will have to do on the quiz. At what time? At what time something happens. In Italian, at what time you say a che ora. I'm going to give you an example of this question. A che ora c'è la lezione di italiano? A che ora c'è la lezione di italiano? La lezione di italiano è alle 12:20. For example, no? At what time? So as you can see, the question is a che ora. When you want to say at what time something happens, you are going to use the expression alle, at the. Let me make another example to understand this. Giuseppe, a che ora? Let me remove the highlighting here because I don't like it. A che ora? Sorry, okay, so a che ora vai a CSI? A che ora vai a CSI? At what time do you go to CSI? Vado a CSI alle 11:15. Alle 11:15. Vado a CSI alle 11:15. That's how you say at what time you do something. At the same time, remember, if you're saying at noon or at midnight, you're going to make it singular. A mezzogiorno, at noon, or a mezzanotte, at midnight. And when you're saying at 1 o'clock, you're going to say all'una. But this is pretty much how you say at what time you do something. In our quiz, you will have an exercise in which you have to, based on vocabulary activities that you study in that same chapter, you have to say at what time usually certain things happen. But we're going to look at this in detail on next Monday when we will be in class together. But basically, you will have to say something of this kind. Typically, si va a letto, people go to sleep, and then you have a series of options. Alle 10 di mattina, alle 2 del pomeriggio, alle 10:30 di sera. Of course, by studying the chapter, you will also learn these expressions, which, by the way, I think you should know already in a sense, or in a way or in another. I want to check if they are, no, they're not here, but I'm sure that we studied these times of the day in a different section, or they will be in a different section in the chapter. But I'm checking. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the book to see now. You have the verb andare here, which is a verb that we will learn in this chapter, to go. No, but you don't have these things. Anyway, so as I was saying, so you have this expression. You know that mattina means morning, pomeriggio means afternoon. Mattina means morning, pomeriggio means afternoon, e sera means evening, right? So this is basically it's based on a general, at what time typically people go to sleep. At 10 in the morning, at 2 in the afternoon, at 10 and a half at night. So you want to make, of course, your choice among these, and you're going to choose this one, right? Because that's when typically people go to bed. Alle 10:30, alle 10:30 di sera. Okay, so this is, as you can see, an overview of the vocabulary section of chapter 4, which will be part of our which will actually be part of our quiz for chapter 4. So first thing that I want you to do after studying, listening, watching this video is studying by yourself and with the help of the online activities, because remember that you can hear the audio, right? So remember to do that. So study, possibly study online this section by yourself. Learn these vocabulary expressions that are very important with various activities, and then complete exercise 4.1 that I'm going to assign right now for you to complete it by Wednesday. I will follow this with another video, of course.